Hello, Terry. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. 2 more seconds. I forgot to do 2 other little quick things. Hope you have had a good day. Just going to rearrange. All right. There we go. Let's get into it. Let's talk some stocks. Maybe a little crypto. Hello, hello. Happy Friday. I hope you are having a great trading day. Wow, it's been wild and crazy. Did you see Carvana? Did you see DWAC, right? Some craziness. The SPY still reversing up here. It almost looks like a diamond to me right there visually that we're setting up. And if we can break down below the 4, that, you know, the body of that 454 down to 452, pretty quickly down to 450, if not further down to 448. So we will keep an eye on that. But let's get into the really big ones. DWAC, supposedly they did not violate the SEC laws, just kind of like, you know, XRP. So as we've seen, XRP had a pop, sell-off, drop, maybe consolidation and a little upswing, anticipating the same sort of movement for DWAC. It had a big pop and then it dropped, has been halted a couple times today. And also Carvana was big and active. It was on the day trading list today, had a nice pop right at open. You can see right here, broke up above the potential long trade right here at 46.80. It moved up, had a high of 49.25. So if you're fast, you caught that this morning. And now it seems like we are riding below that 161 200 exponential moving average. Had nice trades both direction today. Bulk of the pre-market action was very narrow between $1 range. Also, a lot of stocks were very narrow during the range. Pre-market trading today. Let's look at SLB. SLB had earnings. We do have over 4 billion options expiring today. SLB had quite a bearish engulfing candle on the pre-market activity and continued to have a short trade down just about 90 cents off of the 55.60 if you were super fast to catch it on that 5-minute impulse down. Let's look at Bud. Bud has been moving down, but on the daily chart, we are up above the 200 exponential and 161. Is this ready to reclaim that sine wave move and move to the upside? You know, I don't know if people are going to be trading technically or with their desires of supporting the company, putting money into the company. So we shall see. If this breaks up above 59, good chance we'll move up to $63 in the future. But looking to see right now, when it popped up above the 200 and the 161 exponential, it retraced back down. So keep a watch for a 59 break to the upside. All right, American Express earnings today had a big red candle and continued down for a nice $2 move below and then rebounded right on up about 60% retracement, right? Maybe we're going to have a rollover right here. We just had the European markets close 7 minutes ago. So this could have been Europeans getting out of the trade, and now it will continue down for that next leg down. So we had a 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe the 5 leg is coming for a bigger move to the downside. We already touched on Carvana. I will just go over it. Go over it quick again. So I did post out on Twitter that Carvana had big short sale volume. So shortvolumes.com, and you can see it had 60% short from yesterday. 12 million shares open their position as a short. So that means at least, if we look at this, 40% was long volume. So that means that at least 20% was probably still short out of this volume. So at least 4 million. It has been quite active today. We've seen that it's already had 17.8 million traded out of the 84 million in the float. I look at the float to see the speed of movement, just like with DWAC. DWAC had crazy movement today. Why? Because it only has 28 million in the float, right? So as quickly as it goes up, it went from at 9:45, 893 to 25 and back down to 893 in a 2-hour span, hour and a half. So it can move very, very quickly, all right, when you have low floats like that. Sirius XM Radio does have earnings coming up. We have a level of the dark pools from back in 2019, just before the sell-off. So it came up, tested it yesterday, and looks like it cannot stay above today, right? We had a nice short trade down to 657.50 cents on a $7 stock. That's pretty nice return to the downside. All right, Google today. Google had some bigger volume pre-market, had a nice short to the downside. Looks like it found support down here at 118.75 and then shot up, back up to the 200 exponential moving average. Watch this to see if it is able to break it. We might see that we are going to roll over here, but for now we are above that point of control at 119.97. So if we go from open right at 9:30, yeah, 119.97. All right, let's look at Microsoft today. Microsoft, I want to show you something. Okay, why did it stop down here? Well, let's put it onto our 45-minute chart. Oh my goodness, look at that. It was touching that 200 exponential moving average. I love the 45-minute chart. Look at how it's going between the 200. It went from the 28 down to the 161, 200, 28, 200. Feels extra bearish now, right? We have the H of the hell move down. I'm going to call that the H hell move down for stocks. And overall, from the potential short, 328.40, it did have 348.40. I mistyped that this morning. 348.40, a nice trade to the downside of $2 right there. All right, let's look at PLTR today. PLTR, that's not PLTR. That's Microsoft. PLTR had a nice short trade as well, down roughly 80 cents below that potential short trade, almost hitting the 28, but it did hit that 16 level. Terry, do you have any stocks that you would like to check out? Put it in the chat. If you do like the live stream, please hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you like these trade setups that I'm talking about, come and join me every morning at 8:15 in the morning. I do my live stream of building my watch list for my members only. All right, let's look at Ribbon. So Ribbon, electric car technology, pulling back as well below that 25.92. Came down a nice $1.60, and we hit the 8 exponential over here. It does look like it is potentially setting up for a break the ice scenario below 23.80. And I see some other people are watching. Where are you guys tuning in from? I'm in Montreal, where it is not super sunny with sunflowers today. We do have some thunderstorms likely to help put out those 900 fires that are burning in Canada. Worst case it's been in 30 years. All right, Tesla today. Tesla, I have had this longer term upward channel happening right here. We did come back, pull back just at earnings, but it was also part of the trend, right? Test, third test, nope, it failed. Pulled back, looking for this to come back down to 240 or 224. Even 216 area would be my ideal entry, but I gotta give it some time. Last time it took about 2 months for it to come to a bottom, so patience, right? And we are below a bunch of these anchored volume weighted average prices set up by Brian Shannon. Awesome little indicator tool that he has created. Look at how he tested that high level today and it rejected. All right, there's our 15-minute chart. Let's look at the Dow. So the Dow this morning was up, big high manipulation. Looked like, hey, if it has strong movement up above 353, nice potential move. It only moved 30 cents, and or below 352, a move back down. Does have the dividend coming out today, so the fact that it is up with a dividend, stronger indication of the market liking it. Let's look at the Russell. So the Russell has been strong today. The Qs have been leading the downward price action with that potential rebalance that's coming up next week. We also have FOMC next Wednesday, seeing a little weird stuff in anticipation of new potential rate changes. However, we're likely, in my opinion, we're going to see a pause, but we will see a change on reserve requirements. That's what I saw from the reserve meeting with Congress that happened from the second in charge. So the Russell up here looks like it is setting up similar to the SPY, sort of a diamond formation, right? Are we going to see that we close lower this week? Let's check it out on the weekly candle as well. So on the weekly, we do have pretty big selling. We are almost hitting the anchored VWAP from the breakout back here in October of 2020 as resistance. So that's pretty interesting. Let's put another anchored VWAP on from the high back here in 2021. All right, we are above that on the weekly. Let's just change that color to a green. Maybe a purple. That's easier to see for me. All right, so looking to see the past 2 weeks, we've been above it, but in the past, that has acted as resistance and it has sold off. So 1 week up, retracement. Right here, 1 week up, retracement back down. It took about a month and now we're back up above it. Is it going to break 198.26? If we do, good chance for continued move for the broader market. If we do not and we break down below 188.80, I think we're going to see a bit of a move down in the month of August. Qs have had a massive squeeze up. We have the rebalancing because of the stocks that are over 40%. Let me know if you guys want me to put that in the comment section below so that you guys can read that link. It's pretty cool how they do the revaluation, rebalancing of the Qs, and it really hasn't happened that often. It only happens when certain percentage of the stocks are above 40%. All right, so the SPY, very similar motion to the Qs. If we see the Q stocks pulling back, good chance that we will see this retrace as well. We are pretty extended away from the 4 at 446.67 and the 8 exponential down here and this former high 441. So we could have a nice little retracement of 13 points or 15 points in the next month. If we were to really come back down, I think we would test that 436 level right here, 18 points, or even further down here to the 429. We had a lot of buying activity right down here, so I would watch for 25 point trim down and then a resurgence to the upside. Anybody watching have any stocks that you would like to check out? Put it in the chat. Let's also look at the dollar right over here. So the dollar is moving back up. We've had the 4 almost cross. We did have the 4 cross the 8 to the upside today, potentially back up to this 28 exponential. I like looking at it on the 3-day. It does tend to follow that 4 fairly nicely and retrace to the 8. So that is hanging out at 101.46. We also have this 200 exponential at 101.29. So let's see if we can break above 101.30. I'm going to put a little alert there. An alert crossing up. All right, and we have silver. So let's look at silver on our 3-day chart here as well. We did test the 25.26 resistance area, and we have our point of control at 25.18. Last former point of control was down here at 23.99. Are we going to have that full retracement? It depends on what happens with the dollar, right? Our volume weighted average price is back here at 23.78, and this new one up here at 25.10. So I'd be watching for a breakup above 25.10 or below. Let's put it back over here. Let's put it on the high right here, our high day. All right, so 25.13 or 23.86. Whichever direction we break, likely the bigger move And gold as well had a sell-off area at 1979. We have a cup and handle. We do have another bull flag setting up potentially. Again, it depends on what happens to the dollar. All right, thank you all for joining me. If there's no other stocks, no other crypto you'd like to check out, have an amazing weekend. Carpe profit, seize those profits one trade at a time. And I will see you again for my midday market recaps, or you can join me in the mornings for my live stream of the day trading watch list that pretty much pays for itself. All right, have a great weekend.